Most cushioned shoes feel comfortable in the shop, but on concrete, that softness is often exactly what makes your feet ache later. If the midsole collapses or feels unstable, your foot ends up doing the shock absorption instead. I split this video into 5 clear categories, all specifically for walking and standing on concrete, so you can jump ahead to exactly the one that fits how you walk. As a foot and ankle specialist, I see this problem every week. People in good shoes, but the wrong ones for walking on hard floors. So let's start with the safest for most people, and that's the Hoka Bondi 9. If your main problem is hard floors, beating your feet up, the Bondi 9 is one of the most protective shoes you can wear on concrete. The key thing here isn't just how thick the midsole is, it's how wide and stable the platform is underneath your foot. On concrete, that matters more than softness, because the foam needs to spread softness evenly rather than letting your foot sink into one spot. You've also got a very gentle rocker through the front, so when you're walking a lot during the day, it rolls your foot forward without tipping you when you're standing still. So this is especially good if you get sore heels at the end of the day, or you just feel like your feet are beaten up by hard floors. The main downsides for this shoe are obvious. It's heavy, it's bulky, and if you're used to a slimmer, more sporty shoe, this will feel big. But purely for protecting your feet on concrete, this is the safest all-round option. The most comfortable shoes for long days on concrete goes to the Brooks Glycerin Max 2. It is for people who want a more luxurious, cushioned feel for long concrete walks. It feels softer than the Bondi when you first step into it, but importantly, the foam rebounds well, and it holds a structure better than most soft shoes on the market. That means if you're walking for hours on hard floors, you don't get that dead, flattened feeling later on in the day. This one works particularly well if you're moving most of the day on your feet, rather than standing in one place for long periods of time. The ride feels smoother and more forgiving, especially to the forefoot. The trade-off is that the greater volume of cushioning may be off-putting to some people. So if you already struggle with ankle fatigue or arch discomfort, you may feel a little bit less supported compared to our next shoe. But for pure comfort while walking on concrete, this is a solid option. By the way, if you want to keep up to date with our latest shoe reviews and the latest sales on your favorite shoes, I've got a free monthly newsletter, and the link for it is in the description below. Now before we get back to our list, I want to talk you through shoes to avoid while walking on concrete. First, very soft lifestyle trainers. They feel great for the first hour, but the foam collapses quickly and you end up with almost no support on hard floors by the end of the day. The second is very flat or minimalist shoes. On concrete, they give you no protection from impact, and a lot of people start to feel heel pain or arch fatigue. Now some people can build up a tolerance to wearing more minimalist shoes, but it needs to be very gradually introduced. Thirdly, avoid wearing worn out running shoes to wear on hard concrete floors. Once the midsole is compressed, you're standing on an uneven platform on a hard floor, placing excessive pressure on different parts of your foot, and this is a perfect recipe for having aching sore feet at the end of a day. So if you are one of those people with aching arches, then our top recommendation is the Asics Gel Kayano 32. If your feet don't just feel tired at the end of the day, but actually ache, the Kayano 32 usually makes more sense. The shoe gives you structure, not just cushioning. You've got a wide base of support underneath your foot, big sidewalls, and a very stable heel. Asics' 4D guidance system helps keep you centered on the platform, rather than forcing your foot into position. It has a built-in arch support, but it is easier to tolerate than a lot of older rigid stability shoes. Cushioning is plush but controlled, so on concrete you don't get that unstable, sinking feeling that can actually increase arch discomfort at the end of a day. So this is a shoe that I'd recommend if you get aching arches, you feel unstable at the end of the day, or you've tried softer shoes but you still feel achy by the end of the day. Cushioning is soft, and it's expensive, but if the support actually helps your foot, it earns its place here. For a firmer and more controlled feel on concrete, we recommend the Cloudrunner 3. The Cloudrunner 3 is very different to the max cushion shoes we've just looked at. It's noticeably firmer underfoot, but on concrete that's not automatically a bad thing. The midsole feels more predictable, especially through the middle of your foot, and the shoe doesn't collapse much when you're tired. So if you dislike soft shoes, and you feel like you wobble or sink into them, this can actually feel more comfortable over the full course of a day. It also gives you a more structured heel and a controlled transition through stance. It's one of the best fitting toe boxes on the market, but the main limitation is that it has less cushioning than some of the other shoes that we discussed. So it doesn't feel as forgiving as the Bondi or the Glycerin Max. So if you're sensitive to hard floors, you may not feel that you've got enough protection underfoot, but if you prefer a firmer, more supportive platform, this one fits the category well. Now if you're looking for a max cushion but lighter, smoother feel, then we'd recommend the Nike Vomero Plus. The Vomero Plus sits nicely between comfort and responsiveness, feels smoother through the forefoot than the Cloudrunner, and it has a more energetic ride. So if you walk quickly, or you like your shoes to feel a bit more lively rather than heavy and protective, this one will feel more natural. However, the base is narrower than the Bondi and the Kayano. So while it feels great for steady walking on concrete, it doesn't give you the same stable, planted feeling underfoot. This is better suited if you don't have major foot fatigue issues and you want a simply lighter, more fun, lively shoe underfoot. One quick important point that I wanted to cover is the use of orthotics with these types of shoes. Now, they don't work very well in very soft, cushioned shoes, as when you apply pressure to them, they sink into it and therefore counteracts the benefit of having structured arch support. So in this group, the shoes that we recommend most for wearing orthotics is the Bondi, or a shoe called the Brooks Ghost Max 3, which I'll link to in the description below. So my concrete picks in a really simple format. If you want the safest all-round shoe for walking on concrete, the Hoka Bondi 9. If your priority is comfort for long days on concrete, then my recommendation is the Brooks Glycerin Max 2. If you need more arch support or your feet fatigue at the end of the day, the Asics Gel Kayano 32. If you prefer a firmer, broad platform underneath your feet, the Cloudrunner 3. And if you want a bouncier, springier shoe, the Nike Vomero Plus. I put a link to all 5 shoes in the description below if you want to check out the latest prices, as they change all the time. So let me know, have you tried any of these shoes walking on concrete? What's your experiences with them? Or do you have any recommendations of what's really worked well for you? If you're new here, I review walking and running shoes every week from a foot specialist point of view, so feel free to subscribe.